Welcome to the deep dive. We got the script from Courtside Chronicles looking at that Orlando Magic versus Atlanta Hawks play-in game.
Right.
Our mission basically is to pull out the key stuff, what really mattered, and why it's significant.
Absolutely. High stakes there. Winner moves on to the playoffs. Loser's season is done.
Yep.
And yeah, that script really zeroes in on Cole Anthony. His performance was, well, pretty central.
The numbers were solid: 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. But the script seemed to say, and I agree, it wasn't just the stats, was it?
No, not at all. It was the timing. That's what Courtside Chronicles really nailed.
Okay.
He hit those big shots, threes, drives to the basket, exactly when Atlanta looked like they might take control.
Like answering their runs.
Precisely. He just sort of steadied the ship for Orlando whenever things got shaky.
And it wasn't just scoring, right? The script mentioned his defense too.
Yeah, that was interesting. Disrupting Trae Young, making things uncomfortable for him, doing that on both ends in a game like this.
Right.
That's huge.
And then there was that quote from Paolo Banchero that really stood out in the script.
Oh, yeah.
Calling Anthony the heart of our second unit and flat out saying, we don't win this game without Cole.
I mean, coming from your star player, that tells you everything about his real impact beyond just the numbers on the sheet.
So the immediate result of all this,
Yeah.
Magic grabbed the 7th seed.
Yep. Big step for them. Gets them into the actual Eastern Conference playoffs.
Which means they draw the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And Courtside Chronicles pointed out the season series was tied 2-2. So could be competitive.
Seems likely. It suggests neither team really dominated the other during the regular season.
And could Anthony, be the difference maker off the bench again? The X factor?
It's definitely possible. The script kind of positions him that way, doesn't it? After a performance like the one against the Hawks, you have to think he could swing a game or two in that Cleveland series. He brings that energy.
Right. Now, flip side is the Hawks. Script painted a pretty clear picture there. Season over.
Yeah, tough ending for them. Even with Trae Young putting up 30 points, wasn't enough.
The script hinted at defensive issues being a problem again, and maybe some big questions this offseason for Atlanta.
Seems that way. When you bow out like that, after the expectations they might have had, it usually leads to some serious thinking about the roster and direction. Big off-season questions indeed.
Let's talk about Anthony's journey a bit more. The Courtside Chronicles script framed it almost like a redemption story.
Yeah, and it's a compelling narrative, isn't it? He lost his starting job earlier in the season.
Right.
But instead of sulking, he seemed to really buy into that six-man role. And, well, he obviously thrived in it eventually.
That adaptation piece is key.
Totally. Being able to accept a different role and still find a way to make a major impact, that shows a lot of maturity, and it clearly paid off for the team. The script really hit on his perseverance.
And the payoff is huge. Magic back in the playoffs for the first time in, a few years.
Exactly. And his performance in that play-in game was arguably the key reason they got over the hump.
Okay, so summing it up, Cole Anthony, huge game, clutch moments, pushes Orlando into the playoffs. That's the main takeaway.
For sure. And looking ahead, his continued play like this could make the Magic a really tricky opponent for the Cavaliers. A potential spoiler, maybe?
While the Hawks are kind of left picking up the pieces and figuring out what's next.
A definite contrast in outcomes from one game.
So here's something to maybe mull over. Thinking about Anthony's whole story this season, losing the starting spot, embracing the bench role, then delivering in the biggest game. What does that tell us about just how critical adaptability and maybe those non-star players really are when the pressure is highest?